down into the Nindolf, the Wetwang as it's called in your tongue. That is a wide region of sluggish fen, where the stream becomes tortuous and much divided. There the Entwash flows in by many mouths from the forest of Fangorn in the west. And about that stream on this side of the great river lies Rohan, and on the further side are the bleak hills of the Eminui. The wind blows from east there, for they look out over the dead marshes, and the no-man lands to Surith Gorger, and the black gates of Mordor. Boromor, and any that go with him, seeking Minas Tirith, will do well to leave the great river about Roras, and cross the Entwash before it finds the marshes. And yet they should not go too far up that stream, nor risk becoming entangled in the forest of Fangorn. That's a strange land, and is now little known. But Boromor and Aragorn doubtless did not need this warning. Indeed, we've heard of Fangorn in Minas Tirith, said Boromor. But what I've heard seems to be for the most part old wives' tales, such as we tell to our children. All that lies north of Rohan is now to us so far away that fancy can wander freely there. Of old Fangorn lay upon the borders of our realm, but it is now many lives of men since any of us visited it, to prove or disprove the legends that have come down from distant years. I myself have been at whiles in Rohan, but I've never crossed it northwards. When I was sent out as a messenger, I passed through the gap by the strips of the White Mountains, and crossed the Ison and the Great Blood into Northerland. A long and wearisome journey. 400 leagues I reckoned it, and it took me many months, for I lost my horse at Tharbad at the fording of the Great Flood. After that journey, and the road I have trodden with this company, I do not much doubt that I shall find a way through Rohan, and Fangorn too, if need be. Then I need say no more, said Celeborn, but do not despise the lore that has come down from distant years, for oft it may chance that old wives keep in memory word of things that once were needful for the wise to know. Now Galadriel rose from the grass, and taking a cup from one of her maidens, she filled it with white mead and gave it to Celeborn. Now it is time to drink the cup of farewell, she said. Drink, Lord of the Galadrim, and let not your heart be sad, though night must follow noon, and already our evening draws nigh. Then she brought the cup to each of the company, and she bade them drink and farewell. But when they had drunk, she commanded them to sit again on the grass, and chairs were set for her and for Celeborn. Her maidens stood silent about her, and while she looked upon her guests, at last she spoke again. We have drunk the cup of parting, she said, and the shadows fall between us. But before you go, I've brought in my ship gifts, which the Lord and Lady of the Galadriel now offer you in memory of Lothlorien. Then she called to each in turn. Here is the gift of Celeborn and Galadriel to the leader of your company, she said to Aragorn, and she gave him a sheath that had been made to fit his sword. It was overlaid with a tracery of flowers and leaves wrought of silver and gold, and on it were set in elven runes, formed of many gems, the name Anduril, and the lineage of the sword. The blade is drawn from this sheath, shall not be stained or broken, even in defeat. But is there aught else that you desire of me at our parting? For darkness will flow between us, and it may be that we shall not meet again, unless it be far hence, upon a road that has no returning. And Aragorn answered, Lady, you know all my desire, and long held in keeping the only treasure that I seek. Yet it is not yours to give me, even if you would, and only through darkness shall I come to it. Yet maybe this will lighten your heart, said Galadriel, for it was left in my care to be given to you, should you pass through this land. Then she lifted from her lap a great stone of clear green set in a silver brooch that was wrought in the likeness of an eagle with outspread wings. And as she held it up, the gem flashed like the sun shining through the leaves of spring. This stone I gave to Celebrian, my daughter, and she to hers, and now it comes to you as a token of hope. In this hour take the name that was foretold for you, Elisar, the elf stone of the house of Elendil. Then Aragorn took the stone, and pinned the brooch upon his breast, and those who saw him wondered, for they had not marked before how tall and kingly he stood, and it seemed to them that many years of toil had fallen from his shoulders.